I'm going to use a really large example so that I can show you a lot of canceling that happens when we're doing unit conversions. This is a great technique. It's a little strange when you first start doing it, but it becomes a very useful way to convert units from one thing to another and also for solving word problems. So I'm going to start with 1056 inches per second. Let's say that's a real speed. Something is going 1056 inches every second. But I want to see this in miles per hour because I don't really understand what inches per second is. So I'm going to multiply by fractions in order to get to where I want to be. But I'm going to show you the strategy. So every time I have something on the top, I'm going to put that same something on the bottom. And what do I know about inches? I happen to know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So what's going to happen here is that inches, just like common numbers, common factors when we are doing fractions can cancel, inches is going to cancel with inches. Okay, hang in there with me. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about feet. What do I know about feet? Remember that I'm going to, if I have feet here, I'm going to put feet here so that they will cancel. I know that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. And notice that each one of these fractions that I put up, so this one and this one, they all equal 1. What's on the top is equivalent to what's on the bottom. So they just make a 1. Remember that we can multiply anything times 1 and it doesn't change it at all. So all we're doing is manipulating our units here. Okay, again, feet is going to get to cancel with feet. So notice what I have now. I have seconds on the bottom and miles on the top. So the units I have right now are miles per second. That's still kind of weird. I'm really looking for miles per hour. So let's keep going. Miles is good. So I'm ready to just sort of leave the miles alone. But let's chat about seconds for a minute. Now, if I want to get rid of seconds on the bottom, I'm going to put seconds on the top. I'm going to abbreviate it so I don't run out of room. Okay, so I have seconds up here. I have seconds down here. It doesn't matter if we're reaching way across several fractions. It really doesn't. I happen to know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, so what's going to happen now is because I put seconds on the bottom and seconds on the top, that's going to cancel. And now notice that the units I have are miles per minute. Okay, that's nice, but miles per minute is still kind of weird. I really do want miles per hour. So I'm going to keep going. Because I have minutes on the bottom, I'm going to put minutes on the top this time. See, minutes, minutes. And what do I know about minutes? Well, I happen to know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So the fractions are still equaling 1. 60 seconds is the same as 1 minute. 60 minutes is the same as 1 hour. And my minutes get to cancel because one's on the top and one's on the bottom. And now what's left is I have miles over hours. So that's great. I have miles per hour, and that's what I was looking for. I started with inches per second, and that was kind of weird. So my objective was to try to convert that to miles per hour. So once I have the units that I want, I'll grab that. Hours is not crossed off, and miles is not crossed off. Then I'm all set up, and I just have to do the math. So I'm going to use a calculator, and I'm going to multiply everything that's on the top. So let's use something that you can see here. I'm going to multiply this number times this number times this number times this number times this number. So I'm going to do 1056 times 1 times 1 times 60 times 60. And on the top, that makes a great big number. I'm going to write it down here. Oops, that's my highlighter. Let's use a pencil. 3801600. Okay, that would be miles, because that's what's on top. Over, now I have to do the math that's on the bottom. Let's highlight that too. The 1 times 12 times 5,280 times 1 times 1. And so actually all those ones don't really matter. I'm just doing 12 times 5,280, and I'm going to get this number. And that is hours, because that's the unit that's not. So this is weird. That's the unit that's not crossed off. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. So I have a very unfinished problem here. I have 3,801,600 miles per 63,360 hours. So we're just going to do this division in the calculator. 3801600 divided by 63360. And I get 60, nice and even, 60. And so I don't have to keep putting it over a 1. I'm just going to say miles per hour, because whenever I have miles over hours, that's what it means, miles. The fraction bar, we say per. So miles per hour. So I actually converted 1,056 inches per second to 60 miles per hour. 1,056 inches per second is the same as 60 miles per hour, which is a lot more normal to talk about. So the whole reason I showed you this big long problem, when you're going to have little or shorter problems to practice, is just to show you the nifty tool of canceling units that are on the top with units that are on the bottom. They can be right above and below each other, or they can be staggered, kind of catty corner. And so as long as if something's on the top, it crosses out with something on the bottom. So now I'm looking at one of these problems, U.S. customary link conversions involving dimensional analysis. That's just a fancy way of saying we're going to choose the units so that they cancel. And so in this case, it says a building is 36 feet tall. How many inches is this? So we want to convert 36 feet into inches. So we have 36 feet, and we can put that over 1. We don't have to have a unit on the bottom. And we want to get it to cancel so that we only have inches left over. So if we have feet on the bottom, why did I say on the bottom? If we have feet on the top, we're always going to look for something with feet on the bottom. And we want to get to inches. So we look for feet on the bottom. So this one has feet on the bottom. Actually, it's the only one. So I'm just going to choose that. It says that there's 1 foot and 12 inches. Those equal each other. So it's like I'm multiplying by a fraction that equals 1. And the feet are going to cancel with the feet. So you're going to click and drag this down to here. I'm pretty sure that's all you have to do is to drag that. And then the math that you're going to do is 36 times 12 for the top and 1 times 1 for the bottom. So when we do 36 times 12, we get 432. And we don't have to keep that over 1. It's 432 inches. Okay. Let's see if maybe I can do another one here. All right, a jogging track has a length of 528 yards, and we want to make that into miles. So here we've written out 528 yards. We can put that over a 1 so that we're thinking about fractions, and we want to choose a fraction with yards in the bottom. So we look through here. This one has yards in the bottom. It has miles in the top, so that's perfect. I'm going to put 1760 yards in 1 mile. That just equals 1. So I'm allowed to do that. And notice what happens. Yards is on the top, yards is on the bottom, so I get to cancel those. I have miles left over. That was exactly my objective. And now I just do the math from the fractions. So on the top, I'm going to have 528 times 1. And on the bottom, I'm going to have 1 times 1,760. I can use my calculator. This is going to be miles. So I do 528 divided by 1760, and that's 0.3 miles. And that's the answer I'm looking for here. All right, I'll do one more. You can stop watching if you've got it. All right, a monument is 120 feet tall. How many inches is this? So I'm going from feet to inches. I have 120 feet over 1 times, what do I want to put in the bottom of this fraction is feet, because that'll cancel, right? So I'm going to go start looking through what I have here, what I know, and I'm going to put 12 inches over 1 foot. So what we know is that feet is going to cancel with feet, and I will have inches left over. That was my objective, so that's good. Now I just need to do, and I can choose that for that box, and do this math. 120 times 12 over 1 times 1, and that final result is going to be in inches. So I'm just going to do that. 120 times 12 is 1440 inches. And that's my answer for here. What I'm saying is 120 feet is the same as 1,440 inches.